Good morning! We are back at Epcot. It is Labor Day weekend and the park is busy. We definitely want to try some booths in the front of the park because we really didn't make it out there on our first trip to the Food and Wine Festival this year. So our first stop today was at the Coastal Eats booth. Very excited about this. We love seafood. And their cocktail is a Cape Codder, which is vodka and cranberry, pomegranate, and lime. And this is my go-to in college. Just as delicious and refreshing as I remember. And it's a little stronger than I expected it to be, so good on them. For food, we got the scampi dip, which has all kinds of good-looking seafood in there, and some cheesy garlic deliciousness. You could smell the garlic right away. And we also got some oysters Rockefeller.
A little squeeze, a little squeeze.
Frozen goes backwards, but yeah, but it's frozen.
Look, a vegetable.
Yeah, closest thing I've had to a vegetable all week.
What was it?
That's good. That's a meaty little oyster in there. Just, surprising. It's a festival, so you usually get small portions, but three good-sized oysters. And if you're not familiar with Rockefeller, it's basically your oyster, you bake it with some spinach, that's like really rich sauce on it, little breadcrumbs. Fun, unusual fact, it's named Rockefeller after John D. Rockefeller, founder of Standard Oil, big oil tycoon back at the turn of the century, 1819. But, yeah, this is a winner. I like this.
All right. Time for some of this scampi dip. Also has a vegetable. All right. Garlicky, buttery, rich. So good. If you were to eat that by yourself with that bread, that's going to be a pretty filling dish. Both of these items, I think, from this booth are pretty substantial.
Oh, man. I wonder out loud, is the shrimp scampi it's a similar, but is it the same sauce as on the Rockefeller? One booth, two sauces, little oyster, little shrimp? I don't know if that's true. This does seem a little bit more rich than the Rockefeller version, but
Similar.
if you were to look at them, they look very similar.
Lots of spinach.
Lots of spinach, or veggies.
It'll be so strong by the time we leave this booth.
Got a Popeye complex coming on.
Not so fast. I see you trying to load 2 shrimp on there.
When in Rome.
At first glance, I wasn't sure, but there's actually a lot of seafood in there. Lots of shrimp, lots of bay scallops, generous portion. I think I lasted about 5 minutes before I had to pull my hair up. It's hot and it's humid. We couldn't do Coastal Eats without doing Mac and Eats right next door, so Mike is picking up a surprise mac and cheese. I don't know what he's going to go with because one has sour cream and one has aioli, so he won't eat them. It'll be for me, unless I can manage to get the white condiment off. And the IPA, I am headed over to World Showcase. So we're short on time today, so divide and conquer. He's at Mac and Eats for me, so I went over to the Swanky Saucy Swine to get 2 of his favorites from last year, the Bourbon Bloody Mary and the Sticky Ribs. The Bourbon Bloody Mary comes in this cute little plastic mason jar, and it has bacon, bourbon and bacon. Who doesn't love that? And then the sticky ribs have peanut and green onions and jalapenos, so he will be excited to see both of these things. He went with, and I thought he would, the chili cheese mac, because I think I can probably just eat this sour cream right off the top, and then Mike will be good.
Way to call an audible this year, because Disney called an audible this year. Last year at this particular booth, they had the Cowboy Mac. Delicious. This year the Cowboy Mac's back, but someone decided it'd be a good idea to make a barbecue aioli. Mayonnaise and barbecue? Where does it end, people? Stop putting mayonnaise on everything.
We also got the 81 Bay Brewing Hazy Lemon IPA. How's that? It sounded like it would be really refreshing.
It's more like a subtle, what was the name of that drink? A shandy?
Yeah.
Where it's almost like a lemonade beer combo situation. It's subtle, but I mean, you definitely do taste lemon with it. Give it a shot.
I mean, I wouldn't really consider this to be a hazy IPA. It's got like a kind of light hop, light lemon flavor. It's a very good summer beer, which is nice considering I got it to go with macaroni and cheese, which is not the best summer dish. Give me a fork so I can scoop all this off.
I'm just gonna operate in this area here. This is where I live.
Okay.
Notice I am avoiding this area like the plague. Oh, nope.
Dropped it
Drop
right
that
in.
little guy in. Gotta operate on the periphery here.
Well, at least this one is nice that it's kind of contained, whereas the aioli is over the entire
Oh, it's all
thing.
over everything, yeah.
And I think it's vegetarian chili.
It is. Which is surprisingly good. Sometimes those kind of fake meat vegan products can be sort of hit or miss, but this one has a good texture to it. It's meat-like. But no, pretty tasty. Got a couple of those little
There are Fritos on it, I
it's
think.
Frito, and this one's like a fancy Frito.
Ooh.
That's not your mom's Frito, you know what I mean?
No.
Are you serious? Did you see that? She put the whole sour cream.
And just like that, all the sour cream is gone. You've been saved.
But I had to witness it. I had to watch her eat the whole dollop in one bite. She's not right.
I love white condiments. This is very, very good. It has the vegetarian meat, but it also has the black beans and like cowboy beans and cheese and sour cream, and I love cavatappi pasta. Like Mike was just talking about that.
Video before, couldn't think of the name.
I'm kind of a noodle snob.
It's a weird thing to be a snob about.
I don't want the elbows. That's very, very, very good. So this Bloody, I think, if I'm correct, was donned the best Bloody Mary at Disney by both Mike and Pete last year.
We enjoyed this one last year. And you can't go wrong with a giant piece of candied bacon on top there. It's almost got like it's got a crust that doesn't really look sweet, so we'll see what that's all about.
I bet it's like meat wrap meat. Brown sugar and chili powder, maybe?
Maybe it is something like that. We'll find that one out. Yep. Still the great taste it was last year. I don't know if they changed the recipe at all. From what I remember, it tastes the same. It's got a little herbiness to it, for lack of a better word.
And a little heat, right?
Yep. Definitely spice that comes on. I think you get more of that. I got more of the second drink, or at least the delayed first drink. Comes on after the fact.
Still your top Bloody?
It goes back and forth between this one and at Animal Kingdom.
Oh,
at,
the Dawa Bar.
Dawa Bar. They have a really good one with that. Is it Kenyan?
Mm-hmm.
Some special spice from, I believe, Kenya, if I recall.
I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's like biber or...
Yeah.
Weirdly aggressive bird is trying to eat our food and scare me. You're rude. You're a rude lady. All right, how are the ribs, Mike? I know these were one of your favorites from last year.
I have soy glaze on my face.
But is it worth it?
It was worth it. These ribs are great. because I am also a sucker for peanuts, which I've probably mentioned a few times. So it's got some sort of like soy, just the nuts scrambled on top there, a few jalapenos, a little extra heat, but good chunks of meat. I mean, that's a substantial
It's a big
meat to
boy.
bone ratio there. So
Is this on your list? Best of the fest?
also definitely a top 5 for, well, I think it's a top 5 for me. One thing, because they are ribs, you have to watch out for the little tiny riblets, the little bones that are mostly cartilage but aren't really bones yet. So don't just jump into it. Kind of see what you're picking out, just so you don't surprise yourself. Good stuff.
Well, I think that's it for today. We have a flight to catch, but we were able to go to 3 new booths. 2 that were completely new to me because I didn't make it to Mac and Eats last year. That was one that Mike did solo.
Yeah, today we kind of focus on some of the, I always gravitate to the country booths, you know, get a little bit of culture, a little cuisine, sort of thing. Today we hit the non-country booths, at least some of them. Coastal Eats, that is giving Brazil a run for its money for my top booth.
Wow.
I enjoyed both the dishes. The drink was, you know, I think that's where Brazil has a little bit of an edge because, you know, the Cape Codder,
Vodka and cranberry is kind of a generic drink.
it's a little generic. So Brazil still my 1, but Coastal Eats is, it's probably my 2.
Wow.
I think it's my 2.
I was not expecting that. Well, I'm glad we stopped there. I knew
Me
you
too.
would like the oysters Rockefeller.
And the scampi was great. Little baby scallops, little baby shrimps. I enjoy my seafood in infantile form. Great.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming along with us. Let us know in the comments if you tried any of the dishes we had today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, it has been a most
Gratifying day. Bacon.